on, everybody? It is White Arrows here, and we are coming at you with a live IRL deck list. So, been waiting on some stuff to come in the mail, and it's finally come. Now we can show you guys my first competitive standard deck. We are playing Golgari Elves. I'm really excited to be playing this deck. It's a deck that I really like. I really love Elves. Land of War Elves is back in Foundations. We're just going to get into the video. Then we're going to show you guys. We're going to talk about some cards that I already have coming next week, or maybe even this week at the time of this recording. What we're going to do is we're going to do this in like a couple of parts. We're going to show you guys the list. We're going to talk about some of the cards that I want to put in the deck. We're going to talk about some of the cards that I have on the way, and we're going to get into it. So we're going to get into the list, and I'm going to be doing this in order of their mana costs, because honestly, I just don't really know how to do IRL Magic. So I think that's the best way to do a deck profile. Starting off, because we are playing green, we have our 4 copies of Land of War Elves. The OG Manadoric Land of War Elves is a 1 green, 1/1 elf druid. You can tap them and you can add a green mana to your mana pool, which is fantastic. This is the only 1-drop that we're playing right now for creatures. Getting into 2 drops, we're running 3 copies of Dwynen's Elite. I'm probably going to mispronounce these names horribly. Just please bear with me. 1 colorless, 1 green for a 2/2 elf warrior. When this creature enters the battlefield, if you control another elf, create a 1/1 elf warrior token. Fantastic. A green elf warrior token. Rounding out our 2 drops, we're running 1 copy of Wildborn Preserver. 1 in a green for a 2/2 elf archer with flash, so we can play him on our opponent's turn to bring him into block or something. He has reach, so he can block flying. He also has the ability when another non-human comes into play on my side of the field, I can pay X amount of mana and he gains X amount of. So if we play another elf, we have a bunch of spare mana, we can make him really, really beefy. And rounding out our 2 drops, we have 1 copy of Leaf Crown Visionary. I actually want at least 1 or 2 more of these. Just working on ordering some. 2 green for a 1/1 elf druid. Other elves gain +1/1. We have a lot of these effects in this deck to make our board really, really big. And then whenever you cast an elf spell, we can pay a green mana and draw a card, which is fantastic. Getting into my 3 drops, we are running 3 copies of Elvish Archdruid. Archdruid is 1 colorless, 2 green for a 2/2 elf druid. Other elves I control gain +1/1. He doesn't pump up himself, but he'll pump up Leaf Crown Visionary if they're on the field at the same time, and Leaf Crown Visionary will pump him up. Then I can tap him, and I can add 1 green for every elf I control, which is a lot, because there's only like 2 creatures in here that aren't elves. We're running 2 copies of Imperious Perfect. Again, a 2 colorless, 1 green for a 2/2 elf warrior. Other elves gain +1/1, and then we can pay a green and tap Imperious Perfect to make a 1/1 green elf warrior. 3 copies of Beacon Ranger. Another 2 colorless, 1 green for a 3/3 elf ranger with trample. Whenever another creature enters, he gets a +1/1 until the end of the turn. We're running 2 copies of Tyvar the Pummeler. I actually do kind of want to put a 3rd one in here. I freaking love this card. It is probably the heart and soul of this deck. It is a 1 colorless, 2 green for a 3/3 elf warrior. I can tap another untapped creature to give Tyvar indestructible for the turn. This is really good if I'm blocking into something or if something's trying to destroy Tyvar. Give it don't. You can give it indestructible. And then sorry, my cat is being weird. Hold on. All right. You can give them for 3 colors and 2 green. You can give everything plus XX, where X is the strongest creature on your board. So if you're the strongest creature on your board is like a 6/7, a 6/6, then you can give everything +6, and so it'll make Tyvar 9, and does a lot of really cool stuff, especially when you add in all the extra bonuses we're getting from the different elves that are giving us a +1/1. We have 2 copies of Reclamation Sage. It's a 2 colorless, 1 green for an elf shaman. Comes in 2/1. And when this creature enters, you can destroy a target enchantment or artifact. Really good card. Spring Bloom Druid is 2 colorless, 1 green for a 1/1 elf druid. When he enters, we can sacrifice one of our lands, and we can search our deck for up to 2 basic lands and put them on the battlefield. This is really cool. Another nice way to mana ramp on our turn 3 if we don't really have anything else to do. We can get some more land out there, which is also really nice. Running our 3 drops, we are playing 1 copy of Tyvar, the Jubilant Brawler. The Planeswalker is a 1 green and a black. For Planeswalker, he comes out with 3 loyalty. Has an always active ability that my elves can activate their tap effects as if they have haste, which is really awesome. For +1 loyalty counter, we can untap a creature. And for -2 loyalty counter, we can mill the top 3 cards of our deck, and then we a creature in mana value of 2 or less to the battlefield. Going into our 4 drops, we're running 3 copies of Lathril, Blade of the Elves. He is a 2 and Golgari for an Elf Noble with Menace, which means if you're going to block her, you need to block her with 2 creatures. Whenever Lathril deals combat damage, I can create that many 1/1 Elf Warrior tokens. So if she's out and we have an Imperious Perfect and an Elvish Archdruid, and we attack with Lathril, that's or we're going to be able to make 4 1/1 Elf Warriors, which is cool. Tap her and tap 10 untapped elves, do 10 damage to our opponents, and we gain 10 life, which is we're also running 2 copies of Gwynn Gilt Leaf Dan. 2 and 2 green. For an elf warrior with 3/4 with reach, which is cool. We like reach, block flyers. Other elves you control get a +1/1. So again, same vein as all of our other +1/1s. We're looking to make some really big elf boards here. Then whenever Dwynn attacks, you gain 1 life for each elf that attacked. Which rounding out our 4 drops, we're running copies of Wilt Leaf Liege. Green-white, but we can pay all of its color costs with green, which is fantastic. 1, then green, white, green or white, 3 green or white. And then other green creatures you control get +1/1. So this is going to power up all of our field, not just elves. Other white creatures you control gain +1/1. Don't have any other white creatures in here besides Wilt Leaf, so it's not obviously not going to put itself up. If a spell or an ability an opponent controls causes you to discard this card, put it to the battlefield instead of putting it in your graveyard. So if they make us discard a card from our hand, we can put it on the field instead, which is awesome. If we into our 5-drop creatures, we only have the 2. We are running 2 copies of Elf Spawn Giant. The only creatures in this deck that are not elves, but they have reach. They're 5/3. They're 3. They pay them for 3 colors and 2 green. And whenever we play a land, we make a 1/1 green elf warrior token. So that helps out with Lathril. It just gives us a lot more presence on the board. That's all we got for creatures. Now we're going to get into our other fun stuff, our instants and artifacts and enchantments and all sorceries and all that jazz. We're actually not running a lot, and this is where I would love some help. If you guys have any comments, any suggestions, throw them in the comments below. We're going to talk about some of the cards I want to add in when we get to that portion of the video, but this is what we have so far. We have 2 copies of Snakeskin Veil. In playtesting with my friend yesterday, we were playtesting against his modern Dimir Surveil deck. This card is really good. I kind of want to put more in here. I would love some suggestions on what to take out and what to add in. So if you guys have any, I would love to know. It is a 1 cost, 1 green, instant, put a 1/1 counter on target creature control, and it gains hexproof until the end of turn. Fantastic. That saved me quite a bit from stopping stuff from getting tapped down and getting KO'd. Card. Into our 2 drops, we're running 4 copies of Bite Down, 1 in a green for an instant. Choose one of my creatures. It deals its power to one of my opponent's creatures. So really good stuff, especially when we have a bunch of elves that are giving power-ups to a lot of things. We can take out some really big threats with just this card. We're running 1 copy of Fell. I want more copies of this. I have some coming in the mail. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Just a really good card. A 1 and a black to destroy target creature. Just a really good card. Sorcery. Then we have 2 copies of Murder. Again, not what I want in the final build for this deck, but working with what we have. I do want to place some orders and get some stuff going on. It is a 1 and 2 black for a destroyed creature. This is an instant, whereas Fell is a sorcery. So I kind of am torn about what I want to run more of. I would love you guys' suggestions. I know there are other better cards out there for what we want to do, and we're going to talk about that right now. But first, we're going to get into what we are running for our mana. So we're running 20 mana in total. I think it might be more. Hold on, let me just count. 1, 20, which might seem a little low, but we do have a ton of ways of making mana with other things. When I played it yesterday, I didn't have an issue with it, outside of the fact that I wasn't drawing enough swamps. So we have 14 and 6. I'm probably gonna up this to 12 and 8, because I just feel like I need more swamps. And the games that we were play testing yesterday, I had Tyvar in my hand for the longest time and didn't get any black. I still won the game because we just put on enormous pressure with our elves. But I would like to work out that. I don't have a side deck yet. As we progress further, like when we do the next video, and I show you guys like what we get in the mail, we'll look into like sideboard options then. But let's show you guys what we want to order. So let's go. Alrighty, we are here on TCG Player. I find this is just the best way to like find what we're looking for. I don't generally order from TCG Player a lot. I'm generally ordering from like Canadian sites like 401 Games and Face to Face Games and Deck Out Gaming. Lots of Canadian sites around here for really good stuff. So the first card I want to look at is Galissa Sunslayer. This is a really good card. If I'm from Pyrexia, all will be one. Phyrexia. Sorry, I was told that I was mispronouncing it yesterday. She is a one colorless and Golgari for a Pyrexian zombie elf of 3/3 with first strike and death touch, which is really cool. Whenever Galissa deals combat damage to a player, choose one. We can draw a card and lose a life. Card draw is always welcome. We can destroy target enchantment, always a good thing. And we can remove up to 3 counters from target permanent. So in the case of the mice, Heartfire Hero gets a 1/1 counter on it whenever it's targeted. With its Valiant ability for the first time, we can remove those targets. We can remove up to those creatures if we can get a clear shot on with Galissa. Really good card. Really like it. Definitely high on my list. One of the other cards high on my list is Tyvar the Bellicose. He is from March of the Machines, The Aftermath. He is 2 colorless and Golgari, 5/4 elf warrior. Whenever one or more of your elves control attack, they gain death touch until the end of turn, which is really awesome. We can have something like Lathril if we're attacking with a bunch of elves, Lathril will have menace and death touch. Cannot go wrong with that. Each creature you control that has whenever a mana ability of this creature resolves, put a number of 1/1 counters on it equal to the number of mana this creature produced. This ability triggers once per turn. So whenever we tap for mana with Land of War, we get a 1/1 counter on it. But depending on how many elves we have on the field, whenever we tap for mana with Elvish Archdruid, we can get a ton of counters on it. So really good card. I like it. I also love the fact that my man Tyvar here just always loves to fight, because he's Tyvar the Pummeling. He's Tyvar Jubilant Brawler, and he's Tyvar the Bellicose, which means eager for war, which is awesome. I love the fact that he's just always ready to fight. Getting into some of our other instants that we want to use, looking at Cut Down from Dominaria United. It is a 1 black for an instant. Destroy target creature with total power and toughness of 5 or less. This is really good for a lot of things in the format, like the otter tokens, the mice. Just a really good card for a lot of stuff. Something else I was looking into for my mana is Ren and Realmbreaker. This is from March of the Machines as well. It's a 1 green legendary planeswalker Ren. Comes in with 4 loyalty. Lands you control add 1 mana of any color. So our lands would be able to do anything we want. I kind of feel like I want this for the sideboard. Then we can have white, and we can include more white, like board wipes or white cards like Elspeth Smite, or there's another one I can't think of the name right now. Sheltered by Ghosts we could use in here too. Like it opens us up to a lot of stuff in like the obviously I'd include some white lands as well. I'm not gonna be crazy like that. +1 loyalty. We can give one of our target lands 3/3 elemental with vigilance, hexproof, and haste until my next turn. It's still a land. For -2 loyalty, we can mill 3 cards and put a permanent card from among the milled cards into our hand. Similar to Tyvar, but instead of bringing something to the field, we can put anything. From the milled cards into our hand, whereas Tyvar can get us any creature from the graveyard after we mill the cards. And then for -7, we can get a emblem that says you may play lands and cast permanent spells from your graveyard. That is really good to have for if we want to like cast something that we don't really maybe run a lot of from our graveyard. We can bring it back and really stuff with it. Or even if we have to discard some lands for some reason, or lands get destroyed, we can bring them back with Random Realm Breaker. Another card that we are interested in, I actually have 4 copies of this coming in the mail, is Duress, another nice one cost black sorcery. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You may choose a non-creature, non-land card from it, and that player discards that card. Really good if we want to get rid of like some early threats. I like it. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to go into the main. But yeah, that's what we're working with. That's what we have so far. Let me know what you guys think, what you would add into what we have, what you would take out, what you would change. Again, still very new to Magic. I looked at some Golgari Elves deck and Elves decks, and I took what I liked from them, and we kind of worked with that with what we had. But yeah, I would definitely love to know what you guys think, what you guys would add in, what you guys would change. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, we're gonna post up another video for this when the cards that I ordered come in, and if we pick stuff up from our local card shop as well. We'll record that and we'll show you guys the new deck. And like I said, maybe in the next one, we'll work in some side deck stuff. I'm obviously going to be looking at getting the Galissas and the cut downs, and then we'll pop that up when we come in as well. So hopefully you guys like it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We have all of our socials down there. Go give us a follow when you can. Ding the notification bell if you want to be alerted to whenever we post any card game content. It is primarily Magic right now, but that's because I'm kind of like torn about what we're doing with the other card games. But stay safe out there, you guys. Have a great day, and I will see you when I see you. Bye.